of the Imitation of Christ by Thomas A. Kempis. Book 1, Admonitions Useful for the Spiritual Life. Chapter 21 of Compunction of Heart. If thou wilt make any progress, keep thyself in the fear of God, and be not too free, but restrain all thy senses under discipline, nor give thyself up to foolish mirth. Give thyself to compunction of heart, and thou shalt find devotion. Compunction opens the way to much good, which dissipation of mind is wont quickly to destroy. It is wonderful that any man can wholly rejoice in this life, who considers and weighs his banishment and the many dangers of his soul. Through levity of heart, and the little thought we have of our defects, we feel not the sorrows of our soul, but often vainly laugh, when in all reason we ought to weep. There is no true liberty, nor good joy, but in the fear of God with a good conscience. Happy is he who can cast away all hindrance from distraction, and betake himself once more to the oneness of holy compunction. Happy is he who puts away from himself all that may defile or burden his conscience. Strive manfully. Habit is overcome by habit. If thou canst let men alone, they will let thee alone to do what thou hast to do. Busy not thyself with matters of other men, nor entangle thyself with the affairs of the great. Have always an eye upon thyself in the first place, and be sure to admonish thyself rather than all thy friends. If thou hast not the favor of men, be not grieved thereat, but let this be thy sorrow, that thou dost not carry thyself so well and so circumspectly as it would become a servant of God and a devout religious to live. It is oftentimes more profitable and more secure for a man not to have many consolations in this life, especially according to the flesh. Yet that we have not divine consolations, or that we seldom experience them, is our own fault, because we do not seek compunction of heart, nor cast off altogether vain and outward consolation. Know thyself unworthy of divine consolation, but rather worthy of much sorrow. When a man has perfect compunction, then the whole world is burdensome and bitter to him. A good man always finds matter enough for mourning and weeping. For whether he considers himself or thinks of his neighbor, he knows that no man lives here without tribulation, and the more closely he considers himself, the more he grieves. The matter for just grief and inward sorrow is our sins and vices, in which we lie entangled, so that we are seldom able to contemplate heavenly things. If thou wouldst oftener think of thy death than of the length of thy life, no doubt thou wouldst more fervently amend thyself. And if thou didst seriously consider in thy heart the future punishments of hell or purgatory, I believe thou wouldst willingly endure labor and pain, and dread no kind of austerity. But because these things reach not down to the heart, and because we still love the things which delight us, therefore we remain cold and very sluggish. It is oftentimes poverty of the spirit which makes the wretched body so easily complain. Pray therefore humbly to the Lord, that he may give thee the spirit of compunction, and say with the prophet, Feed me, O Lord, with the bread of tears, and give me for drink tears in measure. And that concludes Chapter 21 of Book 1 of the Imitation of Christ.